You sit in a meeting where a project is clearly failing. Everyone in the room knows it, yet every person nods and agrees the timeline is fine. You are watching a room full of adults choose the temporary comfort of silence over the friction of the truth. This silent compliance is a biological response. When a manager offers traditional, blame-focused feedback, the human brain registers it as a threat to survival. This triggers a fight-or-flight response that shuts down innovation immediately. The inquiry engine acts as a bypass mechanism for these reactive assumptions. Instead of delivering a verdict that triggers a defense, you deliver a question that invites an explanation of the underlying architecture. To begin, grab a pen and a sheet of paper. You are going to physically construct a 3-part toolkit to use in your next meeting. Building a transparent culture requires moving past the hope for passive comfort and instead using targeted prompts to systematically generate actionable data. Start by writing down a specific mistake your team made recently. Now look at how you might typically address it. Cross out any phrasing that starts with "why did you?" as this functions as an instrument for finding fault rather than solving problems. Replace that with this specific script. Where did the system break down? This phrasing separates the individual's identity from the failing process. It signals that the system is the subject of the investigation, not the person's competence. You will see this work when the team member stops offering personal excuses and begins mapping out a process timeline to identify the technical gap. Shifting the focus to the system allows defensive posturing to settle, leaving behind objective data you can actually use to fix the project. Next, focus your notes on an upcoming project kickoff or strategy meeting. In these moments, asking if everyone agrees usually only invites the illusion of agreement. People often stay silent to avoid appearing negative or obstructive. Write down the Assumption Audit prompt. What is the most likely way we fail at this? If the team offers optimistic or surface-level answers, keep pushing. Require them to play devil's advocate until they identify a genuine structural risk. Formalizing this search for failure gives the team permission to voice critical concerns. It removes the social penalty for being the person who spots a problem. Now, visualize a specific team member who frequently pushes back or disagrees with your strategy. Instead of viewing this pushback as insubordination, treat it as a signal that you are missing data. Write down the friction pivot script. Walk me through your mental model so I can see what I am missing. This request invites them to reveal their mental model, the complex logic they are using to reach a different conclusion than yours. As they begin detailing their architectural logic, the focus of the conversation naturally moves from interpersonal defense to the mechanics of the problem itself. This pivot transforms a moment of threatening friction into a cooperative effort to map out blind spots in the strategy. Using these questions requires you to relinquish direct control of the conversation. This can feel like a significant risk when you are used to providing the answers. After you ask one of these prompts, there is often a period of awkward, messy silence as the team processes the shift in tone. Your rule for implementation is simple. Do not fill that silence. If you answer the question yourself, you reinforce the very defensiveness you are trying to bypass. Your role here is to hold the space for inquiry. By remaining silent, you allow the team's internal logic to surface without steering it toward a preset conclusion. Enduring this temporary discomfort is the price of obtaining the truth. It is the only way to move past the illusion of agreement. Take a moment to review your 3 finalized prompts. You now have a script for fault de-escalation, an assumption audit, and a friction pivot. This toolkit provides a structural framework for communication that bypasses reactive biological habits. Choose one of these prompts to deploy in your very next meeting today. A transparent culture develops as a team sees curiosity consistently replace punishment when things go wrong. Stepping back to allow the friction of the truth to happen is the foundation of a secure, innovative team culture.